Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Arrow mid-season finale video. We got everything this week. We have bondage, we have awesome villains, we have other people wearing Oliver's costume, so just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. Don't you just love how they kind of did a twist on what they did with the Oliver Queen death last season? And let's be honest, raise your hand, who thinks that Felicity is dead right now, or she is dying? Honestly, I don't think that the show is going to kill off such a big character this early in the season. Whenever they flash forward to that grave at the beginning of the season, they were flashing forward 6 months. That puts it at the full season finale, episode 23. So we're not even halfway to whoever ends up in that grave dying. So just based on this past episode, definitely not going to be Felicity. Now that doesn't mean that she's not going to die at some point. That just means that this episode is not indicating who's ending up in the grave. Just a quick reminder though, the reverse flash ring giveaway is still going on. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video, real simple. So here we go, top 5 WTF. Number 5, Damien Darhk strafes Oliver's cleaning of the bay with a bunch of school children. Oliver gets to save a mini Felicity almost in the exact same way that he saves Felicity at the beginning of season 2, I think it was. I think that time he was swinging on a vine, but like he tackles Felicity to save her from this trap, tackles mini Felicity, who's also pretty adorable herself too. I'm sure someday that little girl is going to have some super duper crush on Mayor Oliver Queen. That's the guy that saved me. And it wasn't even as Green Arrow. Oliver Queen was doing this in public, in the light of day. That's kind of a big theme this season. Oliver stepping out into the light. I mean, it's the holidays right now, so they're doing holiday lightings, but thematically stepping out into the light because Damien Darhk is part of the darkness. Flash and Arrow's pun game has been really strong this week. That's actually a good game to play. After you watch the episode one time, go back and watch it again and see if you can spot all of the puns from Flash and Arrow this week. On to my number 4 WTF though, Diggle versus his brother. He's trying so hard to help his brother Andy, but Andy just is not having it. You don't know the real me. I mean, right now, I don't think we really have a good sense for what's going on in Andy's head. He's not brainwashed anymore. He's not on the chemicals that Damien Darhk hands out to people. Like maybe he's fully drunk in the Kool-Aid. So you could actually add him to the list of people that might end up in that grave. I mean, I think Diggle or Quentin would be a bigger WTF because they'd be like a core Team Arrow person. But Andy dying would also be really emotional for Team Arrow just because they're so close to Diggle. On my number 3 WTF, all of like the relationship comedy. So in one lane, you have Oliver and Felicity and like the whole comedy about the ring. Felicity finding it, her mom freaking out. Then in the other lane, you have Felicity's mom and Quentin, which is actually way funnier for me. Seriously, don't tell Laurel, she doesn't know yet. Felicity is just throwing up in her mouth. But the whole deal with Felicity in the ring with Oliver, they made it very easy to follow. Felicity just doesn't want Oliver to take the choice of choosing to marry him away from her. Like Oliver has this big deal where he tries to protect everyone, so he takes a lot of choice away from people, like he chooses for them. She made the joke last week that Oliver was back in secret keeping mode. Now that was about his secret son, which he still hasn't told this version of Felicity in this timeline yet. But Felicity just like, seriously, if you would have asked, I would have said yes. I chose this life, I get to choose who protects me. It's the don't treat me like a damsel in distress speech. The problem with that is that even though she's gung-ho about this, there are consequences. It's easy to say, don't protect me, I can take care of myself, until you get bit by a shark like Flashback Oliver. On to my number 2 WTF, Merlin to the rescue. He was on fire this week. Seriously, this layer is easier to break into than your last one. He appears out of nowhere. He's kind of a magical character even though he's not using magic. And I love the fact that they let him wear the Green Arrow costume. That's kind of a running thing on Arrow with other people getting to wear Oliver's costume. Roy's worn Oliver's costume, Diggle's worn Oliver's costume. I'd say they'd let the Canary and Thea wear the costume, but I think that they're too short. Usually the other people that wear Oliver's costume kind of resemble him physically, like they're almost the exact same size. That's why Diggle could do it, that's why Merlin can do it, because they're about the same size. But there was a brief moment when he was fighting Damien Darhk that I was like, ooh, maybe Merlin's gonna be the one that dies. Now, John Barrowman is an amazing actor, so I think it would really suck if the show lost him. But he did explain in this episode, he's still a big part of this League of Assassins storyline. The reason he didn't use them is because he doesn't want open war between the League and Hive, because Hive is a way bigger organization than they let on during Arrow episodes. So as badass as the League of Assassins are, you can't blame Merlin for wanting to keep them out of it. But he does want to protect Thea, so of course he's going to throw himself in. What about the Genesis Project though? Damien Darhk kind of does this demonstration. It just seems like knockout gas. But what I think it's going to be is like a low-level version of what he's giving to the ghosts. Like turn everyone into worker bees, as in Hive. So bad news is, probably has absolutely nothing to do with New Genesis or Apocalypse or New Gods. I know we thought this might be a mother box a couple episodes ago. Probably not. Arrow's probably going a little bit more realistic. albeit with some magic thrown in. The funny thing about this is that Damien Darhk's plan seems like it has absolutely nothing to do with magic. This is Hive's plan. Some of the other members of Hive think of him as like a charlatan. They actually said that in an earlier episode. So it sounds like the rest of Hive doesn't really know what's going on with Damien Darhk's magic. But of course, on my number 1 WTF, what are you going to do about Oliver Queen? Cut to limo assassination attempt. Just the way they cut the episode from scene to scene, like it went from the lighting ceremony to Damien Darhk back to Oliver in the limo with Felicity, you knew exactly what was going to happen. The question is, though, is what's going to happen to Felicity now? Obviously, Oliver's going to be pissed, but Felicity in the teaser for the next episode is being willed into critical care, so I definitely don't think she's going to die. But I think it's intended to push Oliver in a darker direction. Like, how dare you come after the person that I love in this way? How dare you try to kill us? So here's my question for you guys. Let me know in the comments. What do you think is going to happen with Damien Darhk's plan? Do you think he's just going to try and disseminate this biological agent, just, take over the entire city? It seems like they're just contained to this one city for now, Star City. But what about Oliver? What do you think that Oliver is going to do to retaliate? I know there is a whole bunch of other stuff that they've announced for the second half of the season. They're bringing Felicity's father on. They've already announced that he's going to be the calculator. The episode that he is coming in will also be the episode that Colton comes back for. The tease that they released is that the calculator is using Roy to enact plans. Like he's blackmailing Roy into committing crimes for him. So Team Arrow obviously will have to save Roy and take down Calculator. The actor that they cast is one of the dads from Everwood. If you haven't seen that show in a long time, it was Greg Berlanti's first big TV show. Obviously now he's like this giant titan of TV, but way back he had a TV show with Star-Lord and Agent 13. So all in all, I feel like this was a good episode. It was a very different type of episode. Like the tone was very different from The Flash or even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or some of the other mid-season finales from the comic book TV shows. I feel like it was a good episode for people that really hate Felicity's character because you're like, oh yeah, they definitely took her down. Or if you're really into the relationship comedy stuff, because there was a lot of that in this episode. But I have to say, Neil McDonough, the actor that plays Damien Darhk, is doing an amazing job. Way better as a big bad than Zoom is right now. Technically, Zoom is the big bad of The Flash, even though Harrison Wells seems like an antagonist. But that's actually another good question. Let me know in the comments, who do you think has the best villain performance so far? Neil McDonough playing Arrow, or Tony Todd playing the Zoom character? Because, Zoom does have more power. He's more powerful. He has the speed. He has special abilities that may or may not be more powerful than Damien Darhk's magic. We really don't have any idea. There's no basis for comparison on that. But I feel like they're very different types of villains, so it's kind of apples and oranges. I feel like they're both amazing. Tony Todd is amazing as the voice of Zoom, just completely terrifying, still so many question marks, and Neil McDonough just wipes the floor with all the other actors whenever he shares scenes with them. Great holiday episode though. Everybody be sure to high five Quentin on your way out for getting a little some. Seriously, how long has it been since he's been on a date? Maybe after he and River's song broke up. Who actually got a shout out during the Flash episode. They said that Laurel was in Central City visiting her mother. So what's going to happen is there are a couple trailers for the rest of the season. I'll at least try to get a Flash one out. I don't know if I'll have time to do an Arrow one too, but I'll definitely try to do an Arrow video sometime later this week. There's a new Doctor Strange video that I have, there's new Star Wars, and there's a new Captain America Civil War video. So I'll try to get that out as fast as possible. While you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here for last night's episode of The Flash if you haven't seen it yet, and you can click here for my Batman vs Superman trailer video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.